on this episode of the Off Limits podcast.
Yeah, man, that's a powerful topic. I thought that would have been a really good topic, man, because of the crafty counsel that's inside of it. You can see it, and so that should give us a thought process to how many other ways have they done this with us. You know, they analyze. I've been looking at statistics a whole bunch in the past years here, just to see how well we place it in different areas, you know, and how they look at us. You know, the different dynamics that happens with us. How are they moving based on that? They're moving a lot of ways based on those analytics that they get from us.
But what's so crazy is like, it seems like every aspect of our lives, you know what I'm saying, is affected. You see what I'm saying? Is affected. Like, they literally have crafty counsel in how they choose players.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In terms of, but they do it in a way where it has a lot to do with how would I say, our existence and how we are towards one another and our family structure. I mean, they literally use that against us, bro.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Now, they were ordained to do it, but it's like, man. And now it's like, how far does the rabbit hole go?
And that's the question. Q, if you talking, Q, you be on mute. We can't hear you.
Nah, I'm over here, you know, mothering.
Oh, you're in the thick of it. Oh, you're in the thick of it. Okay. My fault, sis.
Yeah, you know, it's just your mouth is moving, so it's like.
I didn't know she was talking to us or not.
Yeah, I would have like, you know, like how when people do them puppets with their hands, like, it's like you talking, like she moving her mouth. So
right.
Yeah,
man, it is about how deep the rabbit hole goes. It's kind of scary, man, to see how it goes. Nothing that we should fear, because, you know, everything that's happening is gonna happen. It's already ordained to happen, like you said, you know. Mm-hmm. But in how many ways do they use this stuff against us? That'd be my thoughts about it when I think about it and I hear things like that. How far have y'all come with this thinking? Are y'all still ahead of us? Have the Most High allowed us to think, to catch up to the way y'all move and think? Are y'all so far ahead of us still? You know, like, are y'all still that far ahead of us? You know, this is new to, like, because like the two white men said, like I said, I wish I would have had the video to play so we could play it. But they've been doing this for years. How much ahead of us are they? Right?
I mean, you know, it says we're destroyed for lack of knowledge, and, you know, they always devising ways, evils against us. And so, but although we commit evil more, you know, better than anybody else, but it's like, the thing about it is they always devising ways to have an advantage, you know, and then what we'll find out, and then they change the game. You see what I'm saying? And so that's why they're able to get ahead. But the scripture tells you, like, you know, we have to keep the commandments. So like, if we do that, then we stay ahead of the curve. You see what I'm saying? Right. If we do that, we stay ahead of the curve. Then nothing can come against us. But since we don't, then, you know, the enemy or whoever can come against you in all angles, from the side, from the back, from the top, from the bottom. You know what I'm saying? And that's why they're able to do this. That's like a side swipe right there. You know, like literally, I wouldn't even like be thinking of it. Like, who thinks like that? You know what I'm saying? Like,
people who know data. And people who know, you know,
see, the thing about
they study human behavior.
But even if you know data, like, what makes you say, okay, we're going to use this? Like, oh, he angry. Let's make him a defensive line so he can knock the quarterback out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you still got to come with that mindset and say, well, I'm going to do this with this information.
Right. That's what I mean, man. Like, look at what you choosing to use the data for. It's all to build their empire, you know? It's all the owners in the owner box sitting, because eventually it's going to the NFL, you know? eventually it's going up there to make them money, you know.
But
And then it's a different form of slavery.
It's got to
Different
be
form of
an
it.
adversary. Cause we've been an experiment. We've been an experiment. They test our pain levels. They test all types of stuff. They test somebody said something about putting stuff in the food. We've always been the guinea pig since we failed. You know what I'm saying? We was at the exposure of other people and other nations. Oh, if we take him down this low, how far would they go? Oh, will he eat pig if he hungry? It's all been an experiment.
But you know, that's Hasatan. He always do the opposite.
Yeah.
This life we live is duality, you know, and it's always duality. So it's kind of like something like this. You have a knife. A knife was created. Now, if you have a knife, you're like, oh man, I can cut this apple, I can cut this orange. You know what I'm saying? You want to use it for good, but then you're gonna have this sucker right here talking about, man, let me take this knife so I can cut somebody's throat. Like,
Right.
hey,
Right.
like, yeah,
Right.
didn't you?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh,
hey,
crazy.
I'm thinking about cutting an apple. You know what I'm saying? Like, killing somebody with it, like, whoa. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's kind of like that. It's kind of like that. So yeah, the single mother. I'm thinking, okay, this single mother with the kid. Okay, let's go ahead and feed them. You know, let's feed them. Let's
Right.
let's see how we can make their life better. But this man talking about let's exploit the son because he ain't
That's
got a father.
exploited.
Dang.
Man.
You know what I mean?
Dang. It's like, man, we got a monster. Matter of fact, what else was said? I'm not sure if it was in Dion's podcast or from other people podcast when they were talking about it, but they were talking about how if you don't have like 5 to 7 players, that's like that they stay in trouble, or they always on the cusp of trouble, you're
Right.
not winning the championship.
Ain't it?
You're
Man,
not
you
winning
remember
the
that
championship.
video? God,
Man, you gonna make me cut it out real quick and get it.
no, you ain't gotta cut it up, but I mean, couldn't we just load it up and then play that part? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I don't know. Can you play?
do that? You know,
Are
she
you
was
ready?
like, oh, that's
Yeah.
like, that's some work.
I don't know. She was able to play Tawa's video. That was live when she played it. I mean, I could probably send her the link and she could probably play it. Matter of fact,
Give me what you need.
let me get the link real quick. Let me get the link real quick.
Yeah, so I mean, because it's one thing to talk about it, but then to hear it out of the horse's mouth, and and how they just do this thing is it's devious.
Let's see this. Boy, it's a lot of activity.
Okay, here we go. Let me click on this.
In the meantime, if you guys have not subscribed to the Off Limit page, so a lot of times we run the show on this page right here, but make sure you subscribe to the Off Limit page so that way when we transition to that page, then and we go live on that, we'll be rolling. So make sure y'all check that page out, which is the Off Limit show. And so what we're doing is we'll be talking about all kind of topics. Nothing is off limits in regards to what we discuss. You see what I'm saying? Topic wise.
Yeah, so I just sent over that link. I don't know. It's 8 minutes long. We can't watch that whole 8-minute video.
Nah, we can just go.
But just to get a glimpse of what they were saying. But I think
Timestamp. Like, what's the timestamp of the juicy stuff?
Just
hold
go
on.
ahead and play it and then scroll. Like it's after Deion Sanders spoke.
Hold on.
Because what you sent me started like at 3 minutes or something.
Let me check real quick.
Okay. Yeah.
You're right. Yasun says, Shalom family. The Most High said that we have to cast out all wicked imagination. You're right. Imagining evil always. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's crazy because that's what they do. We do the same thing too, but they always imagining evil ways. And it's crazy because a lot of times when they're imagining evil ways, it's to have some kind of advantage. You know what I'm saying? Because you think you're winning. You think, and that's in all aspects of our lives. When you imagine all kind of crazy stuff, it just causes things to go haywire.
go. I put it in the chat. It's go about to 2:30, Q, and play it from there.
Okay.
And stop it after they finish talking about how many players it takes before you win a championship, like before they get in trouble and stuff like that.
Okay, you say 2:30. 2:30.
Yes.
Okay.
There we go.
Everything he said, Hutton, is something that we've heard from college coaches before in private conversations.
Pause right there. See,
different things, different family backgrounds based.
See, they talk this, so that means they've been doing this. You know what I'm saying? They've heard this in private conversations. So these obviously are witnesses saying like this is what they do in behind closed doors. And obviously Deion, he's part of the club now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you can akin that to one of the house, Negroes or whatever. So he's privy to this type of information to where he actually regurgitate the same thing. So now they're saying this is what they talk about. Go ahead.
Before in private conversations. You're looking for different things, different family backgrounds based on position, right? I've had a college coach tell me, if you don't have 7 to 15 guys on your team, that you got to keep a thumb over them because you're worried about what they may be up to.
Yeah, rough around the edges.
Because they're wired that way, then you're probably not going to win a national championship. Now, when coaches get to the podium and talk about culture and family and student athletes and all those are things they're not going to say. I love the fact that Deion Sanders feels empowered and emboldened enough to say what he feels. So I'm never going to crush a guy for being honest. I think those comments are covered very differently if it's not Deion Sanders saying, especially when you get into, I want a defensive lineman from a single parent home.
Yeah, that should be good. Right? That should be good.
Those are things normally said in private that aren't said in public.
Yeah, Bob Costas is going to join.
Why do you think he said, what was it that he said? Something about he's proud of Deion for saying that because, he's the only one, in a way, he's the only one that can say something like that and nothing happens. He said if the others say it, then it would be a different type of coverage, different type of conversation. Why he said that? Because he knows it's more targeted towards blacks.
Right, exactly. That's the whole thing. I mean, we could look at the demographic. We could look at the numbers. Listen, the whole reason that college football and the NFL football, the only reason it's big as it is because of all kind of people. Our people are in it. Our people make that thing run. It runs the whole ship. You don't have a good showing. You don't have a good game of black people showing their dominance, how fast, how big, how strong they are. You don't have any of those things happening without our people showing all of those things. It makes that plane fly, absolutely. And so they want the best of it. They absolutely want the best of it.
I ain't trying to be a conspiracy theorist or whatever, whatever that means. Conspiracy. You know what I'm saying? Isn't it ironic? He was coach of Jackson State or whatever college that was, Jackson, and it's like they covered it. Mm-hmm. Like any other time, whatever coach would have been no kind of coverage, national coverage, global. Right. And so Deion became that coach, and all of a sudden now, it's the coverage. It's like all of a sudden that school can be on national television. And then later on, he ended up moving to another whatever institution, and now everybody uproar. So now he's in the limelight. He's in the all over the news, all over the TV. And then later on, he happened to be the one to make that statement. So it's like I be wondering, like what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Like, you mean to tell me the same person? It's almost like he was set up for this. You know what I mean? But I'm just throwing that out there in terms of like. Theoretically, that's just my opinion. Mm-hmm. Don't count that as gold, y'all.
Right.
Sometimes we have to use wisdom in how we think in what we see, and then and make judgment out of and discern out of that. So, but I'm gonna keep that, I'm gonna keep that mindset. Like, dang, I'm gonna pay attention. Like, what's going on?
Right.
What they got in store for you?
Like it's obvious. It's obviously Deion Sanders is a character, man. He's one of them people that when he's speaking, you watch, you listening. He really has that kind of, how some people just got that star power in them. That when they start talking, you just like,
Right.
you looking and you listening. He's that kind of person, especially if you're a person who love football. Especially when you're that kind of person that loves football, you're gonna watch and listen. So you might be on to something. I don't know.
We'll see. Time will tell. Time will tell. You know what I'm saying? When Joseph said I had that dream and y'all bowed down to me, Jacob was like, okay, well, we gonna see. You know what I'm saying? He didn't count it out, but he did.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But he said, okay, well, he held it to his heart.
Man,
Like,
but the part, let's go back to the part. Let's discuss the part where he says like, having a thumb over about 7 of the 15 guys, where like, if they're not on the verge of getting in trouble all the time, like he basically said, man, you got some aggressive dogs on your defense. You got some aggressive men on your team that they gonna go and get it. Like they're always on the verge of getting in trouble. Like, what kind of mindset do you have to be in and say, yo, we need those kind of men, but we need to be able to keep them tame somehow.
right.
Is it the money? Is it the money that keeps them tame? Is it the because obviously money gives access to a lot of things here, in the United States. It gives you access to a lot more things. Do you wanna win a championship that bad? I mean, obviously it's more so about bringing in the revenue and the money.
Yeah.
That's what it is for them. That they're willing to, again, like you said, exploit our people, even when they're in a worse situation, and take them out of that situation. Say, hey, I'll take you and give you that money. Because if I took the smart man, if I took the man of understanding and gave him that money, he'd probably do something with it that would be against us.